All right, guys, it is the 22nd of August, Friday afternoon. It's about 2 p.m. Today we're going to be working on the Cosmo. Disregard the headlamp being out. That's going to be a separate post. We're going to be working on adding the LEDs and taking out the halogens out of the fogs and the main bulb. Oxido.com, who's sponsoring us for that post, provided us with what we need. So check out that post. It might be previous to this post or maybe after. I'm trying to do everything in sequence just so that historically what I do with these cars are going to be in line and in sequence. The seatbelt, the driver's seatbelt isn't exactly working. I need to get that sent out. So to be able to get to it, I believe I need to be able to remove the quarter panel card or the side panel. So if we can get that removed today as well, I can pull out the seatbelt so that I can get it out to be fixed. I'm going to try to record as much as I can because there's not much content on YouTube regarding how to remove the interior to be able to get to the coilovers, so or to the suspension. So hopefully this is going to help a lot of folks out, and so you guys are going to just have to go through with me and try to discover how to do it. I know there were some posts on the forums and on Facebook groups, but it's really hard to discern exactly what you need to do. So hopefully I can spell this out today and get this thing done. Eventually I'm going to get this garage door fixed or get it replaced. This is getting a little tiring to have to manually open up this double garage door. Okay, so the first thing most likely is going to be removing the passenger seat. So the assumption here, as in any of the seats, particularly that has power, is 4 bolts, 2 in the front and 2 in the rear, and connectors underneath. So let's go ahead and do that. You're going to need to pop these guys off first to get to the bolt. Don't lose these, but these things look similarly to, it looks like I broke a piece, to the FD ones. What the hell is this? Okay. Don't know what this is. Have to figure it out later. So I'm going to guess that we're going to need to remove this as well and unbolt it. Just want to make sure I don't destroy it, because it's it's meant to cover. There you go. So you don't want to just pull it out. Looks like this piece slides in and then this swivels so that it clips onto this rail. So slide, swivel, and then clip. So when taking it out, just pull it out from here, swivel it out, and then slide it out. So I almost made the mistake, which I didn't see this thing, of actually completely pulling out the swivel part. Okay, just to kind of show you guys the layers on that bolt. So you have this bolt here, and you have it looks like it's I believe it's metal, but it's a skinny washer, as you guys can see. And then what goes after that is the actual rail, the mount from the seat. And then you have this thick washer with this piece here. So don't want to kind of lose how that is layered, so that when I put it back the way it was stock. Okay guys, so now that you have all 5 bolts removed, all you got to do is just kind of tilt this seat back, and you're gonna see 2 connectors. I initially thought there was just one, but there's actually 2. This guy right here and this guy. Okay, the seat is out, and that's good. I was kind of fearful that this is going to be rusted out, but I did check the car underneath when I first bought it. There are some cancer areas, but not in places that I don't think I can get a fab guy to resolve. But these are clean. That's clean. So should be good. Hopefully the driver's side, well actually I'm not going to be removing the driver's seat, so there's plenty enough room here to be able to get things out. And the Cosmo does have a wide door, so that should be good. There is enough space here to be able to, I mean, I did get the seat out. Normally with some of the other cars I've had issues, particularly the NSX, getting the seat out. I had to figure out a way to kind of snake that seat out, and unfortunately by doing so I somewhat damaged the center console, but it is what it is. So the good thing, I guess, about this silver lining is I get to finally shampoo the rug before putting things back together. So just gonna add more time, but I'll do it just to make sure that it's clean. So okay, so the next is the center console or panel, however you want to call it. There's supposed to be one bolt or screw underneath this. There's supposed to be 2 underneath this, and for the others that have a different model, I think there's a coin tray as opposed to the seat, as opposed to the power seat controls. There's supposed to be 2 underneath there, and there's supposed to be 2 underneath here, underneath the carpet. So, and there they are. But have they been removed already? No, these are just extra. I'm hoping these aren't what's underneath. What are these? This is a key for something. I'm not sure what this is. I haven't really paid attention much just yet on this car, but it looks like there's some connectors I might have to deal with underneath, but let's get started with that. Let me see if I can pulled this out first, but it looks like somebody already tried to, because you see that little plastic, it's already loose. Gonna use this guy right here. Oh, okay, that was pretty easy. So it looks like it's a connector, one, to remove this. So we'll go ahead and do that and see if we can find loose screws. So that's one right there, and I guess, yeah, there's two underneath that. So let me see if I can pause this video and add pointers to show you where they exist, and they appear to be 10. So I got the connector out, and they're actually 8, not 10. Next, these guys. So it looks like to cleanly get to those 2 bolts on the bottom, which connects to this piece, you're going to need to remove this cover panel. There's going to be a screw right there, and removed. It looks like somebody tried to remove it already because the edges have been damaged. So essentially just pry it with something really skinny. I used the tweezers. I was able to just lift it up so that I could use my fingernails to pull it out. So we'll remove that, and then hopefully this panel will come up. Let's give that a shot now. I don't know where the hell did I put my 8mm. It's typically the 10 that you lose. Should be the same. Actually, this is shorter, so we need to make sure that this isn't get mixed up with the rest. So let's see. So just be careful. There is a clip here. I don't know if you guys can see that. So you need to kind of work your way out, and I'm going to assume for the cigarette lighter there's going to be a connector there somewhere. So just gotta just maneuver it out, and there we go. So there's 2 connectors for the cigarette lighter. Now we have access to those two bolts. You could have actually maybe just somehow shifted this backwards and just use a Phillips head to be able to remove that, but then you'd run the risk of just dropping those screws down there, and you're kind of hosed. But of course, if you have a magnet, you could probably get to it. Now I'm wondering, where did this come from? And oh, wait a minute. This spring was on the side somewhere, and I don't know what this is for actually. Well, just gonna have to figure that out later. So it came from here. There's a spring on it. Yeah. So I'm not sure what this was for. I don't see anything underneath here that would say that it's activating anything. I don't know, maybe if you guys can help me out, let me know if you guys know what they are. Alright, let's go ahead and remove those 2 bolts. So I believe there might be a connector here. Well, let's just lift this guy up and and see what we're dealing with those jacks. They look to be like audio jacks. I only need 2 hands for this. Okay, so that's what it looks like underneath. So it's just another connector that you need to disconnect. So next is the bottom rear seat. As you can see, I've already removed it, and this actually is the easiest out of the removal. What you have here is a latch, so when it's down here, all you need to do is just kind of feel for it. You'll feel this, and all you have to do is just press it down, and what it's going to do is it's going to unlatch or unlock it from this hole. And you do both sides and just pull it out and you're done. Again, pretty happy, pretty stoked that there are no rust. For the price that I got her for, I'm pretty pleased, because from what I'm seeing these days on the cost of the Cosmo, it appears that I may have gotten at least a 40% discount. I mean, it does have some things that are at fault, which is a non-working instrument cluster. The steering wheel doesn't go up anymore when you shut it off. But as far as everything else, the motor is smooth, runs fine. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this purchase. And if you guys can follow, you guys are gonna see where I take her. Okay, so to remove this piece next, there is another 8 and a 17. Just so that, I guess for reference, it's facing this way. That way you don't forget and don't install it or put it back the wrong way. I mean, you could actually, if you had to, just twist it anyway, but just to keep things the way they are. And it's going to be the opposite of the other side. So I'm going to get those 2 removed, remove this bolt, and I'm going to assume this just kind of shifts forward and you could pull it out, but we'll see. Actually, this one might be a 10. I'm going to assume I think we just gotta just clear it here on both sides, and it is out. Oh, what is that? I'm gonna assume it's audio related. Seeing that it connects right to the jacks on the center panel. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And again, I could see right through the ground and there are no rust. The only rust I'm seeing so far is the surface rust that this is even surface rust or just dirt I'm finding on the plate that holds the shifter on the column. So surface rust on these brackets as well. I may address that before putting things back. Just throw a primer on it, it's not going to be seen anyway. Okay, so I guess what's next? This bolt, but how do we get the rest of this out? I'm supposed to alright, this one I'm gonna have to look up, and it's a good time to charge the battery on this GoPro because this thing is just horrendous when it comes to battery usage. So we'll do a quick lookup if we can even find anything. But I remember seeing some pictures where there's some strings. I believe that's something you gotta pull. Okay, I've already started. You have a clip there, and you have another in here that you just pull straight out. It's a bit scary. Looks like there's an indentation here, and similar on that side. Looks like they may have carried something here, and maybe a big piece item and dented that. But anyway, supposed to just be able to pull this. I don't know about this section here. I know that there's a clip here that attaches this upper piece, and gonna need to do the same thing on the other side. I'm just confused as to how this portion here attaches. So I'm going to remove this nut, which is a 10, and there's supposed to be a string here, and I can feel it, that you're supposed to pull down, and it's supposed to unlatch and allow you to move the center piece. And so the only thing that's holding this section is 2 tabs or 2 clips, and this guy right here, and be able to pull it straight forward. Hopefully that's it. So I don't know if this has anything to do with it, and if there's any sort of attachment for this. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's just an easy straight pull out like I've read. So anyway, let's give that a shot. So just want to quickly show you, she came right out. I didn't even have to pull on that string. I'm wondering, probably because maybe it wasn't fastened properly, but it was a scary moment. But so you have these 2 things that you're going to remove. That's actually going to just pull straight out, not remove it. I should maybe rephrase that. So it just comes out like this way. Just got to just pull with some firmness and just straight out, and these 2 should pop right out. Same thing goes for the other side. And there was actually nothing that was here. These, I thought they were separate pieces, but they're actually one. So the clips where the rest attached, or the back is attached to, is this right here, and there's one similar on the other side. So this is that thing that you're supposed to pull, but I think this was I was pulling down like this and nothing was happening. I ended up using pliers. Luckily I decided to halt that and not deal with it, because I thought that maybe I was going to break something, and sure enough, I think this was because if I pulled hard enough, this would have maybe pulled this thing down or maybe cracked this plastic. Anyway, all you have to do now is loop the seatbelt around the rear seatbelt, just so that you can get this panel out. You're gonna need to do the same on the other side, and should be good to go. Not quite sure if I mentioned it earlier, but the whole reason for me doing this is to try and be able to get to the rear struts, so that I can install the coilovers I just picked up, and it's supposed to be coming in next week. So I wanted to prep this car so that all I have to do is install the coilovers and put the interior back. But in addition to that, I need to get this panel out. I know there's a CD changer back there, like I said. Reason being is because this does not retract. So I need to be able to pull it out and send it out so that it can be I guess reset, or just completely changed over. Maybe it's the gearing, I'm not sure. So I need to figure out how to remove this panel prior to me removing that. I don't have the air filter that normally comes with some of the other JCs, some of the other Cosmos, so this should be a little easier for me. But oops, I shouldn't have said easy. I probably just jinxed myself. But let's work on this first so that I can get this out and get it chipped so that it will get here in time for the trip to the tail of the dragon. So it appears that I'm gonna need to unbolt, take out these nuts. That's 1, 2, 3, and then 4 right there. Those 2, I believe that's for something else, and I don't know how the bottom is mounted. I'm hoping it's just, you know, these is holding it up and I just pull it out, and this is not attached to the CD player, that it's just mounted to the body, and this is just a cover. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's remove those bolts and see what happens. So now we can get to the assembly, or the seatbelt mechanism. So to do that, it's removing this connector and unbolting. I'm going to assume that's a 17, and this bracket as the guide. And I don't know how I would remove this guy right here, but this one here should be a bolt. So it looks like there might be like something here that we could just pop, but we shall see. But at least now I can get to this and get this thing fixed, so that I have a functional seatbelt, so that in case something does happen, which I hopefully not, at the Dragon, I am seat belted in. Now that's a huge CD changer. Seems to have a lot of audio components in this car. Too bad I can't take advantage of it because my touchscreen isn't working. So eventually I'm going to need to get that done. The next thing I will need to figure out is how to remove this top. I don't know if this is just 2 clips and just lift and pull. I hope so, and we shall see. But for now, let's get this thing out and figure out how the hell to remove this thing right here. Okay, so it wasn't as rocket science as I thought. So it just pops out. So the easiest way to do it is, I was trying to pop it out here thinking that this was like a slot to push, and then but really that's just a point of swivel. So pop it off from the bottom this way, and then it'll swivel up and you can remove this. I'm going to assume it's 17. So the seatbelt was covering what I didn't see, which is need to remove that screw to be able to get this assembly out also. So there was also a washer behind it, so it may have been behind here, so don't forget that. I'm just gonna set this aside here. Hopefully I can remember that. Slide this over. Not going to bother taking the whole assembly out because I just put the screw back just so that I don't lose it. Move this guy. disassembly back, because I don't think that whoops, well, there was this washer that came out from here. Let's see if maybe we can replace that with something. So going to remove this. There's a washer here and a collar, and then another washer, and then we'll remove that. And there's a washer right after this guy right here, and then the cover, and then the actual seat belt. So yeah, all you have to do is just pop the center cover off, this guy right here, and it'll reveal the bolt. But unfortunately I got a little too hasty and aggressive, and I ended up kind of destroying it a bit. Instead of just popping this guy, I popped the whole entire assembly, or the whole entire plastic. And yeah, lessons learned. So just all you need is this guy right here to get access to this bolt. Alright, just recording this just to have a reference to the sequence of what gets bolted on. So it looks like it's the bolt first, and then the seat belt bracket or seat belt hook, whatever you want to call it, and there appears to be a washer. Yeah, washer. Is that a washer? There's I forget what you call it. Basically just holds it in place, and then you got a washer, and then you got a collar, and then you have this piece, which is orientation is this way, and then you have this. Is this a spring? And then a collar inside a spring, I think so. And then another washer before the nut. So I'll disassemble this. Ooh, yeah, this needs to be a spring. I guess it was behind here. Okay. Yeah, it needs to be behind here, like so. Okay, so got rid of the 3 clips. Of course, breaking them. So I'm gonna need to replace that. And then all you have to do, since I have a lap or shoulder belt, not just a lap belt, you just have to lift this up and then slide it down to be able to see the seat belt assembly. And yeah, let me show you, because I haven't done yet on this side. Lift it up and then just slide it through the belt, and then you now have access to the bolt, the single bolt that you're gonna need. I'm pretty sure a single bolt to remove the seatbelt assembly. Lift it up, and underneath that is going to be the strut tower cover. So at the bottom of this is a guide. This guy right here. Let's see if I can point it out. This guy right here is a guide, and that way you can easily line it up on the plate when you reinstall. So it appears that the plate, the mounting plate for the seatbelt, is using the same mounting for the strut. Something is holding this thing down at the end, so I can't really just slide it. So I think what I'm gonna do is just maybe hold it up like this. See, I believe there's clips back there. I really don't know how I'm gonna reach it. So to avoid from trying to see if I can do that and maybe break some stuff, I'm just gonna leave it this way and just hold it up every time I try to access any of the mounting bolts. There is a cover on the strut that you guys can see. I don't know how that gets removed. So once I get that driver's side done, we're gonna call it a day. Maybe continue this next weekend, and I'll have the coilovers by then, and maybe tackle the coilover install at the same time, and that'll be a separate post.